Random. That was random.
Welcome to the Random.
Welcome to the what?
Random. We're trying to make it all spooky.
Yeah, it's Halloween, y'all.
It's Halloween. It's October. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
So, with this whole episode for today, seeing it's October, Halloween's just around the corner, I thought we'd talk about some paranormal, spooky stuff. And you mentioned that some things have happened to you.
Yeah, I had a little something. I was young. I grew up in the projects, Texas, but we used to have like this. We used to always go to the store, but we had this alley that was really dark, and it was this house. I just remember it being a house that nobody went in, or nobody. It was just a weird house, and then some lady lived there.
Oh, man, the old lady.
Yeah, the old lady thing.
The house that you don't want to go to, that typical story.
Yep, and it was one of those. So one day it was like nighttime, and like me, my brother, and my friend Byron, and we like, man, let's go in that house, man. I'm like, you sure? He's like, yeah. So we all decided, like, let's do it. You know what I mean? So we creep in. I know all three of us in the house, but the only thing I can remember was, I think Byron or my little brother was upstairs and they screamed, ah, and they ran. And I dipped, I ran in the direction of my little brother, and I see like this lady, and I don't know if I'm tripping, but man, you can't tell me I didn't see this.
Now,
I'm 50 years old.
How old do you think you were?
I had to have been about eight or nine. I was young.
So you were like not super, super young, like 4 or something, like,
No. I was old enough to where,
things were working. Like you knew what you were seeing. It wasn't like some figment of your imagination
And unless the lady played a joke on us, you know what I mean? She could have, but because I can say this lady, everybody used to pick on her house. We should throw fruit at it, just,
kids.
Stuff that kids did.
Right,
so we were just kick our fists down, anything we do to just terrorize this lady. And for whatever reason, nobody knew her. I never seen her come outside. We see her through a window or something like that. But we went inside and she had a head right here.
A human head.
It was a human head. The only thing we seen was a head. I just ran. I remember we all ran. We ran to the park, park. We had a park right in front of our projects. And we all went in like this. It was some like thing that we all got in, like a little spaceship. You can get to the top, and we used to always kick it up there.
Yeah,
man. To this day, I still think that's true.
Now, do you think it? Now, are you for sure it was a head, like not her, like the creepy cat lady, or stroking like a taxidermy?
I don't know, man. It could have been fear. You just run into a room, you see something, and you see what your mind makes you think it sees because you're young. But now here's another one. I know this to be a fact. Like one time, like I was a bad kid, you know what I mean. But I run away from home, man. I'm about like 14. My mom run me away from my mom, kick me out. I do something wrong. My mom say you can't go out, like I'm out. But I ain't really got no place to stay. Me and my friend, he kicked out too. So we both in this laundromat. We stand in the laundromat all night. We had us, hustling, got us some quarters, and we just putting quarters in the laundry, in the dryer, letting it warm up our hands and stuff like that. But anyway, while we in there, this white dude come in there, man. And he just started preaching to us, man.
Out of nowhere?
Just preaching like, yeah, I'm God, such and such, whoop, whoop, I'm like, yeah, whatever, you know what I mean? Wasn't paying him no mind, we was young, was smoking weed, we drinking, I'm like 14, you know what I mean? So we wasn't paying him no mind. Matter of fact, it was this machine in there, so how bad I was. The machine, all those dollar machines for change, this is how we was making money. This machine was so messed up, you can take any piece of paper that looked like $1 and you put it in it and it give you quarters back. So that's what we were doing. We were in this machine, putting it on the dryer, keeping warm. We're like, oh, this thing is paying us. And this man coming there, man, y'all shouldn't be doing this here. We're like, they're like, who? I'm God, so on and so forth. They're like, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? So we ain't really paying no mind. We making our money. We said, let's go to Jack in the Box. We leave. All right, man, we gone. When we get to Jack in the Box, he was already there. This dude was already at Jack in the Box, bro.
The same dude.
That was same dude. Same street. And it's like, man, I like that dude's in here, man.
You guys took off.
No, we ate. You know, we ate first.
No, I was saying, but like when you guys went. Oh,
we took off. We left him there,
and then he was there. He was
at the Jack in the Box, and so we there. And then while we at Jack in the Box, we eating. And I remember some lady was there, like, because he was kind of like, he was like, hey, y'all should save yourselves. He was like messing with us, but we were kids. The lady said, is he messing with y'all? We're like, nah, he ain't messing with us. You know what I mean? She like, well, y'all want to leave? But then he started getting real, like, yeah, we going to leave. She said, well, I get his attention, y'all leave. So we leave and go back to get more money. He was there.
So you saw him 3 times.
3 times. That time I went back, I went home, bro.
Right.
I went home. I said, this dude, like,
That's
something's up. Yeah, I went home.
Now, how old was this gentleman, would you say?
I say it had to been in his, like, I don't know, maybe his 20s. We were kids, so he was like an adult to us, yeah.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, if he was, like, really old, like, man, this dude is some warlock or something.
Yeah,
like,
you know what I mean? And
you know,
like, and I have to say that at that time I was smoking weed, you know what I mean? But
weed is not gonna
make you like, yeah. I mean, I was with my buddy Paul. You know, Paul was Indian, and Paul was like, he seen it too. You know what I mean? Man, we both went home. Like, man, I'm going home. This dude's following us, man. Yep, and I told my mom said it served you right for running away. That's how she said.
The underlying thing of the whole situation. Mom pulled that trump card saying that's what you get.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord, that's pretty. That's, you know, the thing is that the whole story is, how did he know that you're going? Like, was he following you, or was he like there, like already there when you guys got there?
I don't know, but I do remember he was telling us, like, hey, salvation and save your souls. And I've always carried that. I've carried that with me in my life because, you know, if you don't know me, Mike, I've kind of, you know, when I was young, I got into a lot of trouble. You know what I mean? Just trying to find my way. Nothing super crazy, but I got in a lot of trouble. And, you know, mischievous stuff, you know, just, you know. And I thought he was, like, just trying to tell me, hey, you're on the wrong path.
Right.
Because that's when it all kind of began. When I was 14, when we moved from LA to San Diego, it's like when we first moved. And I kind of like, you know, my mom's basically trying to save us. You know what I mean? We moved from Texas, got from Texas, she moves to LA. We in LA, we doing our thing, you know, but I'm starting to run in the wrong circles or whatever. She like, I'm trying to save my kids. So she say, I'm gonna send y'all back to the projects. I'm gonna go move down to San Diego, and it's a better place. But I already established homies in LA and stuff like that. So she brings us back and moves to what she thought was a better place. But I was always, you know, I was there, and that was kind of like what one of those things was, me running away. But I think it was like him just, you know, something, the universe or what you call it, you know, like, hey, you know, you don't want to go down this path, because that path led to, you know, just me, like, you know, just some lessons.
Did it affect you? Did it change you?
Not at all. Not at the time. Not at the time.
Not at the time. It did. But you look back at it now, and you're like, okay.
Yes.
You know, because when you're young, we all know that you're full of piss and vinegar, and like, nothing could stop me type deal. You're indestructible.
Yeah, and that was me.
Shit don't stink, and then you know, and that's all the youngs. Because I mean, I see it. You know,
that's how it was. Yeah,
every kid that is like, they think they get buy into it, you know. Yeah. And then once you get older, like, damn, this shit was real, you know, like, you know, like maybe life was real. Listen, maybe it would have did, but like you said, your path is made already. You know, it's always like you have to choose which one you want to take.
And like, as I'm an adult now, I don't really think it's, you know, that pick and choose. I don't really think it's that. I think it's ordained, man. Those decisions been made for you. I think your book is already written.
Right. Okay.
You're just doing exactly what you were supposed to do. I was supposed to go through whatever I went through, because look at me now. You know what I mean? Had I not done any of that, I wouldn't be sitting here talking with you.
No, that's
you know what I mean. That's
everything does happen for a reason. I definitely believe that. I should say more of like free will of what you want to be, and what I should say. Clarify that. You know, your free will is where you're positioning and how you go about it.
But at the same time, that free will is like, even what we call free will, you making the wrong decision was actually the right decision. That, you feel me? Yeah, you get it. So it's like, that was the right decision. You were supposed to make that decision. I was supposed to be kicked out from my house. I was supposed to go experience whatever that was. You know what I mean?
No, I absolutely do know what you mean. I mean, like you, I wasn't the best kid either. I got myself in some shenanigans and multiple times, and I'm like, you know, I was like, damn, why did I do that? But if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't be the person I am today. You know, and you know, it's just, you know, you go through life, you're like, man, I didn't think I'd be at this place or that place, but you know, you're supposed to be where you're at.
Exactly.
You know, you don't really have control over it. And that's like a lot of people when they do over, you know, push the control factor. That's when you start playing. It plays head games with you. That's when you start staying up at night. You're trying to appease people that you don't need really to appease. You know, you're not going the right way about it. I'm gonna share you a story.
Yeah, let me hear yours.
Now,
man.
this one, like, this one affected multiple people. You know, because like I told y'all, like I work in remodeling and renovation, and I'm not gonna tell the exact address, but this was off of East Fairfax and Cleveland Heights. This house. Okay. So we started renovation, and you know, there's about 5 crew members on the crew who would come in and out, you know, periodically. And so we started working at this house, and I kid you not, up in the third story attic, you would hear this.
Like knocking?
Nah, like little feet, feet running.
Like somebody running? Oh,
yeah,
okay, that's true.
Like little feet, like not like light feet, you know, like if a child was running, right?
Okay.
And it would continuously, like, it would happen and then it would stop and then it would start again. It was very, like, periodically happening. It wasn't like a constant.
Now, was you the only one here? Or was other?
No, this is the thing. Like, okay. I'm like, y'all hear that? And they're like, yeah, what is that? And I'm like, you know, I'm trying to rationalize what could be making this. Is this pipe rattle? And I'm like, well, to get pipe rattle, you have to run the water. No one's going upstairs to run the water, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, but it didn't sound like pipe rattle. I mean, I worked in multiple 100-year-old century homes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How was it? An old house?
It was an old house. I mean, well, at that time, that house was probably about 80. Okay. But like, I strongly believe that the human race has been, like I've mentioned this before. I think we don't know what has been on this soil before us, you know? Yeah. There could have been, you know, where this hotel or this, you know, hospital has been built over you know, Indian reservation.
Tribal grounds, burial ground.
Whoever it may be. I mean, it could have been ancient people from Kemet who, you know, when the world was a Pangea. I don't know.
Yeah,
you know,
I get it.
I really don't think the history that was told to us is
really the entire history of this land we're on.
Right. And the world, I should say, like the world we live in is totally exact. I think there's a lot of things that they're...
Because they say that, you know, you've heard that, they say that all of the not the United States, but the world, and it's Europe, Asia, they were together at one time.
The Pangea, yes.
Yeah, and if you remove the water and kind of you see where, of course, over years, like water has kind of chipped away, so it's not a perfect fit like a puzzle. But it's actually we were all, it was like one. It was
all together at one time.
One massive land is what I'm trying to.
And then it gradually, you know, shifted with the tectonic plates and all that, and you know, with all this other things that have happened, you know, with comets and asteroids, you know, hitting. I mean, when you got something that massive hitting at that speed, it's gonna shift something.
Yeah, it's gonna change something.
It's gonna change something, like the Great Deluge, you know, even flooding. You know, you think of.
Like, we're looking at just what's happening in
North Carolina,
North Carolina, Florida. Yeah, that's like that water comes through.
Comes in. You see all the sand in Florida. I mean, it's like, dude, it's like it's a big sandbox now. I was like,
and I've seen that in California. Like, I'm from San Diego area, and it's beaches. We can see what we call places where we used to go jump off of what we call like. We used to call the trestle, or like to be like cliffs and stuff to jump into the water. Those cliffs are different now, man. It's like they're farther back now. You can see where, and that was, so that's, you know, like I say, I'm 50, bro. So that was like 30-some years ago.
Right. And then it changed that rapidly.
Yeah, and you see this guy back here. We're going to let you know somebody behind these cameras, and he always smirking and cracking. But yeah, he called us historic because his older brothers. We don't live the full life, man.
Right, always knocking on the age. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, I'm this age, but then he's like really young. He tried to act old, like he tried to hold his own.
Keep holding on. Wait till them bones get the cricket.
It'll come his time. It'll come his time. But so yeah, we started here. It honestly, we all were discussing this. My coworkers and I was like, man, this sounds like kids' feet running across the top wooden floors. Like really, you could hear it, right? So I was like, going to do an investigation, seeing if there was a toilet running or water running. Nothing.
Okay.
But when I went into the 3rd-story attic, bro, there's a bathroom up there.
Okay.
And I look in it, and when you hear these paranormal investigators say you feel the cold, or you feel something,
like some energy or something.
This energy was not cold. It wasn't like hateful energy. You could honestly, it was like this overwhelming feeling of love for their child. Like it was insane. The wallpaper was this like nostalgic retro zoo, like with giraffes and elephants, but it was like more geometric shape. Like it wasn't like exactly like it was like played off, abstract looking, but it had these chartreuse colors on this like one featured wall where the sink was at. It had like this bright neon, orange and yellow on it, accenting it. And then on the back wall, you had the clawfoot cast iron tub right there, right? And then right on the back wall, right when you would walk in the door, somebody hand painted a hippopotamus with those cast iron tubs with bubbles coming out of it with a brush, like it was taking a bath. Okay. And when I saw this, I was like immersed all through my body of, man, these parents love this child. Like, I mean, it was hand painted. It wasn't a sticker. It wasn't any kind of. It was hand painted, and I so wanted to remove it and take it out, but it was plaster, and I was like, this could cause a mess, and if it's not broken, don't fix it, Yeah, sure. If the wall was damaged, I for sure would have taken it out because it was that well done. And but we will come back to that bathroom later. But being in that bathroom, like I said, the sense of the love for the child was there. Then I was like, okay, this is sort of making sense now. What we're hearing, those little pitter patter feet upstairs.
It was a child, yeah.
Yeah, it's a child, right? Who knows the history of the child? The child maybe had an illness or something, and they wanted to give that child the best life that they had while they're here. I don't know. I maybe should look the history, but I don't know.
That's what I was going to say. Did you?
I didn't.
Could you find out if something ever happened in the house?
I should probably look in the archives in the library to see. But I don't know if they would
Cuyahoga County Auditor will tell you who owned that house.
Yeah. Maybe I should. Maybe I probably will look that and add it on to the extras or the description, to look it up to see, because it. I don't know if they will disclose. They should disclose it because of, I don't know about the whole minor thing.
No, but you might not know the minor's name, but what you could do, the Cuyahoga County Auditor let you know, like when a property transfer ownership, it'll let you know who owned it before and so on. So you can find the name of the parent and like, oh, this could have been the time that was, they might have owned it, and Google that name and maybe a story will come up.
Yeah, maybe.
Hopefully it's nothing horrific, man.
I should really look into it. At that time, like, I was into more stuff trying to get custody of my daughter, so it was like go to work, but this whole thing, was like very interesting. So, the guy I was working for, his brother-in-law came into town, who was this, I'm gonna call him like I see him. He's this big redneck hunter guy, big beard, burly motherfucker, And I told him, I was like, listen, I think this house is haunted, and the rest of the crew does. He never really worked with us, he just came in to visit and get some hours and whatever. And he looked at me and was like, like Ghostbuster, I ain't afraid of no ghost type, he was like this big tough guy, right? I kid you not. We walk into the front foyer of the room, of the house, right? The front entry. And I go, just like this. I was like, if you hear us, if you could tell us that you're here, can you please, walk for us and do what you've been doing? Literally, as soon as I finished that, you hear the pitter patter feet. Dude looked at me, was like, what in the world? And then it kept,
Did he think y'all was messing with him?
Well, no. I mean, because like he thought we were messing him at the beginning, telling him and trying to like freak him out. But when I asked the entity or ghost, whatever, to do what they've been doing, and they responded by doing it. This dude looked at us wide-eyed, his jaw hit the ground. He was like, but there was no one else in the house yet.
He said, I'm out.
Yeah. And that's what happened.
He said, y'all can keep this job.
The next day.
Yeah.
He never came back the next day because he's like, man, I keep on hearing the pitter-patter up there, like, back and forth, like, periodically, And the dude, like, this dude who's this roughneck, like, type hunter guy, backwoods guy was like, he never showed up back to that house.
Yeah.
But I would always get that, that.
I mean, I probably as an adult, I probably wouldn't have either, man. Like, if you would have said like, and I believed it to be true, I knew you wasn't playing, a prank on me. I'd be like, hey, homie.
Well, this is no.
I don't need that money. All money ain't good money. That's what.
Right. Like there's no prank going on because we all entered the house at the same. Now, if there was another guy like staging it, yeah, I mean, sure, but we all entered at the same time, and I made it aware that like. To the other coworkers, like this has been happening, and like I said before, like when I went to that palm reader lady, she told me, these things might reach out to you,
Yeah.
And so I was like, I felt the energy.
So you've always kind of like had, this wasn't. I take it this wasn't the first contact you've had with the
paranormal, like entities and energies. No, I still see them to this day. Not, they're fast.
Okay.
They're really fast. They're, like, a lot of people say like, they're quick. I think they're on a different dimension, a different dimension where they move quicker.
Okay.
It's hard to explain. I mean,
and I kind of get it. I mean,
like, you'll see ghost videos of these people like, seeing, and you'll see this shadow. Yeah. They're lightning fast.
Yeah, I got it.
So you'll catch them on the side of your eye. Like they're not like, there's only been that one that in Boston where I saw that like actually stood there.
Yeah, I remember on one of your episodes. Yeah.
And I actually saw like his upper half, that's the only one I really like. It got like a clear shot. The other ones, you see them quickly or, they go in and out,
Got you.
And then like the one photo that we showed on my one buddy's sister looking in the house in the Carolinas that goes in the front doorway, that lady. But that was captured on camera by a photo. So this story gives way further date. So that guy never came back, right?
Okay.
He's like not having it, not doing it. I kept on getting, this sounds funny, but you talk out loud because you try to get out of your mind psyche. You like, shit, there's something else in here, right? And things would, happen. You hear like loud, knock, whatever, or the pitter patters. And I kept on saying out loud, I'm like, we're just making the house better. We're not changing it much, I kept on saying that.
So you would talk to it.
I would talk to it,
to her.
Just,
I mean,
so
so you do believe it was a girl?
I don't believe. I don't know.
You don't know?
It's a boy or girl.
Okay.
I couldn't tell. All I know is it.
Yeah,
it's gonna get deeper as the story goes on, right?
Okay.
I know there was a child in there at one time. I know there was a kid, a younger, a child in there. So, right when you enter the front entry, right? There was an entry to the living room, and then you had the stairs right here. And then right behind the stairs, you had another entry to the living room. Like you had a double entry, right? So we were working everything else but that living room. And I tell you what, I had to mask that off with plastic, and I don't know what, the tape was not sticking to this plastic at all. Like, I mean, it was frustrating, needless to say. Like, I mean, something that should have taken minutes, it went into hours. Like, I was like, how is this happening? Like, I don't know what kind of product they used to clean the wood, you know?
But it wouldn't stick to the wood.
Yeah, the adhesive of the tape would not stick. So I'm like taping it, and I was like, after I got done taping, I was like, thank you, you know? Like, it was just like a job well done. Like, I was just like, oh, I was finally finished with it. Like, now I could carry on doing the demo and whatnot. So I decided to stay later the evening because, you know, with my whole scheduling, I had to make up hours. So I decided down in the basement, they had these little, it was different, the basement, because they had like these little like rooms down in the basement, right? So I picked this room that was right underneath that living room where I had to tape off so the dust wouldn't go in there, right? So the word is out through, you know, the guy was through the whole crew that this house has something going on with it. Like it's spooky, it's extra. Yeah. This house is a little extra. So I'm working there late, and
what do you mean by late? What's late?
it's dark. It's during the winter time, so it got darker quicker. So it had been like 7-ish, I would say, around that time. It wasn't super late, but it was late. It was way past the time that we usually there, right?
Yeah, you know, get out before the day, like
right. Yeah, we get out there right when like, you know, dusk, because you know the winter solstice time. So I'm working there, and you know I'm spraying the cabinets, and I'm by myself, and I kid you not, right above where I was painting, where the living room where it was all taped off, I kid you not, I hear stomping, like boom, 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 boom. I mean, stomping to the point where you felt the reverb, like the energy from it being like forcibly done. You know, you could feel the vibration through the floor. Like not only.
So was this like so you don't think this was the kid no more?
This is where I'm gonna. I don't think it was. You're exactly right. I don't think it is a kid anymore, and I'll get to why I don't think so. I'm sorry to drag on, but you know that's the art of storytelling.
Yeah,
I feel on the bag.
But see, you got me interest though. Okay.
Well, yeah, right. So I mean, I'm like now thinking, like I said, logically, I'm like, okay, it has to be the guy I'm working with, like pulling this joke on me because the word's out that, you know, this house, something's, you know, extra, something's going on here. I'm like, this dude's playing a game with me, you know, but I'm pissed because that means he would have to take down that plastic that took me hours to put up. That means he would have to literally rip the plastic, go into that room and stomp like a fucking elephant. Excuse my language. But it was loud. Like I said, like I could feel it through the floor. Like I could, not only I had like my headphones on lightly, but I could hear the boom, boom, boom. And I felt it too, like a collision. You know, like whatever it was doing. I go up there, Big Lair, the plastic is perfectly fine. The guy that I was doing work with and work for, nowhere in sight. Everything is like closed up shop.
Wow.
I'm like, oh, wow. Like, okay, this is way more than the little pitter-patter feet that I was hearing from the third-story attic, right? This was loud. This was heavy. This had some intent or some intentions to tell me something. I'm thinking, okay, well, I'll go and finish this, you know, go down and finish my work, you know? I go, like, right in the center of the house, there was the chimney stack, right? Then the radiator, right? So I go downstairs, like, this way, and I walked around and then go into this other, you know, that little corridor, like that little room where I was spraying. I kid you not, I hear, like, 4 or 5 heel scuffs right behind me. You know how people like have their boots like loose and you hear the scuff of their heel like go shh, 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 shh.
Yeah.
I have the headphones off by now. Like I'm on point. Like I'm
you like, you know, my antennas
I'm
up.
My sentences are like on point. I hear those heel scoffs. I was like, here I go again, talking out loud to something. I was like, I get it. You don't want me here anymore. I'm closing up. I'll be here tomorrow. Yeah, obviously I have.
Yeah.
I'm way past your bedtime or like your time that you want me to be here. I'm gonna leave.
Got you.
I left, and I told obviously my coworkers what happened. They're like, dude, this house is something else. I'm like, yeah, it is.
That's crazy, man.
It gets even deeper. This is like we're like halfway into the iceberg, right? Mm-hmm. So the next door neighbors have a black lab, right? And they saw us entering, at the front door, which we always did, before we get going on the work that we were doing. And the homeowner goes and stops us and goes, "Hey, you guys, obviously you guys been doing work in there, Yeah. She's like, by chance or some coincidence, like, have you guys been experiencing weird stuff in that house?" And I was like, how in the world does this, like, what is this going on here,
Yeah.
Like, this is more evidence of what we've, been experiencing.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, yeah. She's like, yeah, my dog, like, it will always look at the third story window in the attic where, that bathroom was at.
Yeah.
And she's like, his hair will rise on the back of his back, on point, start barking, growling, all types of stuff, and go ape shit, Mm-hmm. And then so I told her about like the little pitter patters, feet steps, and then the most recent thing of the stomping. Mm-hmm. And then she goes, you know what is really peculiar too and really strange about it? She's like, a guy who lived by himself used to make sculptures of ghostly faces.
The guy that lived in the house?
Prior to the remodel that we were doing, used to make sculptures of ghostly faces.
Wow. Okay.
So we're like, oh, wow. Like, this is just keeps on getting deeper and deeper and deeper. Mm-hmm. So you mentioned about it being multiple ghosts, right? Well, all of a sudden, the guy I worked with, a wet wall is an access panel to a wet wall is to your fittings of your plumbing, right? Mm-hmm. For your cold and hot water turn off valves and everything. Mm-hmm. In the third story bathroom, he's doing some work up there. He takes the wet wall. He yells for me, "Michael, please come up here right away. Come up here." I'm like, "What's up?" I used to call him Pretty Ricky, And boy, the man was pretty. He's like a pretty looking boy, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I call him Pretty Ricky. And he goes, he wouldn't go in. He's go, look. And I go and look. I was like, yeah, you got the... He's like, no, look at the access panel. Look behind it. Look what it is. I go and pick up the access panel. I turn it around. It's an old Ouija board, bro.
Serious?
I wouldn't make this up.
Yeah, I used to be afraid of Ouijas, man.
Dude, don't. Yeah. Now, I'm going to tell the audience.
My grandmother had one.
You start
my grandmother had a Ouija board. Yeah.
No, that's,
yeah, like, my grandmother had one. We were scared, like. Yeah.
No, it is. Like, if you, and I'm going to tell the audience this, like, you may not believe it, but whatever you do, if you do believe in this stuff, if you don't, the Ouija most important thing is to close out your session. When you start asking, the Ouija board and doing all that, it's so imperative that you close it, to close out your session, because if you don't, you're leaving that portal or that
so like a gateway open. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like, this is just, I mean, it wasn't like a new one. It was an old one. And I was like, crazy, right? Mm-hmm. So he's just freaking out, right? Pretty Ricky. So now the closing of the story is I was on a different job now. Pretty Ricky was at that house, right? Everybody's on point. I was more chill with it. Like, I was more comfortable. Everybody else of the crew was not having it. Mm-hmm. I get a call from Pretty Ricky, and the seriousness and just his voice, I'd never heard it before.
Mm-hmm.
He was damn near like in a panic mode. He comes to me and he calls me. He's like, Michael, like freaking out. I'm like, I had to tell him, like, calm down. Like, what's going on? Like, are you okay? You know, you didn't injure yourself or anything. You know.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, no, I'm fine. But like, you know, I'm at the third story attic at that house. You know, at East Fairfax, and they were like refurbishing that bathroom, and he was painting over that hippo, that hand painted hippo in the cast iron, you know, the hand painted picture or painting on the wall. He was painting over it, and he felt a thing tug on his leg 3 times like a little kid, like tug on his pant leg.
Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it type deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't. He was beside himself. He was like, "What should I do? I'm nervous." Like he was.
Yeah, it's like different. Yeah.
He was so out of pocket. Like never have I ever had him. Like this dude used to go down some crazy like downhill mountain biking. Like done some wild like crazy sports stuff. Mm-hmm. Like this dude was like, it would take a lot to get him shook.
Gotcha.
This dude was shaking like a leaf in the wind. You know, like, I mean, literally, like, he was like, what should I do? What should I do? So I was told, you know, from that lady who I met down in Kentucky, the palm reader, told me all this stuff about myself that I just, you know, actually became true, and told me about, you know, the whole energies trying to reach out to you. And she told me if you felt like threatened to say the Lord's Prayer 3 times. So I told him to do that and so on and so forth. But, you know,
wow.
With it being all said and done, I like you said, I think there was more than one. I mean, it could have been, or it could have been all of them. Yeah, pissed off, like down there, young, like they're late.
Okay, if it's their house, you know, I can see like, why are you changing? Why are you painting? Why are you?
And I kept on saying, you know, I'm trying to just update it. I'm not trying to make it. But when he got that pant leg tug, it changed everything. Like for him. And
I actually believe you, bro. You know, and this is something that I don't know if I told Gordon this year though, but my mother recently passed. 20, been like maybe 2 years now. But in my home, I don't know. I live right down the street on a condominium in Shaker, but I have a little mantle that's like in the living room. We have this wall. And beyond that wall, you get into the bedrooms. But I have a dog, bro, and this mantle is like a little, I want to say it's a little shrine of something to my mother. It has photos, it has, you know, things she's given me that I kind of, you know, I hold dear to me. And it's always set on this little thing. But, and this is my wife called me. I'm here. I live in my office. My wife called me. Something's going on with our dog. He will not walk past your mother's thing. Like, yeah, whatever, you know what I mean? So she FaceTimes me and like, look, he's just sitting there. She's calling him, offering him treats and everything. My dog would not walk past my mother's thing.
Was like almost like in a trance state?
Yeah, he was like, it was something there that prevented him from walking past my mom. And so I like, yeah, whatever. I didn't think about it. 2 hours go by, I go home. I come into the door. Anytime I come home, my dog is coming, man. Come through the front door, walk through the kitchen, and as soon as I turn the car, you know, sometimes I'll like make a little noise and he'll come and creep around the corner. Come in, he's standing right there. He would not go past. And I was like, what? So I FaceTime my brother Anthony. I say, man, mom is here. You know, I think mom is here, man, because look, and he knows my dog. I look at Dollar. My dog is named Dollar. Look at Dollar. He will not come. I say, come here, Dollar. I get a treat. I'm showing him on camera. Come here, Dollar. He would not leave. And I say, Mom, leave my dog alone. I say, just leave my dog alone. Mama, stop messing with Dollar. And then he came.
Wow. Like right after
that, like I ain't never told nobody that though. But like in my house, that's why. But I've seen little things. I know my mother's still.
Sure.
I know she's still here, bro. It's like I see in birds sometimes. Like it'll be like I know that's my mom or something. You know what I mean? Because it's like me coming out. I see like a blue jay and like, it's, you know, and someone just tell me that's your mom. And like I mean, one time I was. You know, when she first passed away, I'm just down, bro. Sure. And I got my head down and I'm walking and this blue jay come, and I hear something like, keep your head up, boy. And I look, and I see the blue jay. But it's something like my mom is telling, lift your head up. It's okay. You know, came in, I lift my head up, and I like, oh. And that's when I started noticing, maybe my mom, she's here, but maybe she transitioned that way. I don't know, bro. Maybe your mind's just playing tricks on you. But yeah, my dog, my wife will come on the same podcast and tell you facts on my mama. Yeah. May she turn over on her grave 50 times. My dog would not walk past that little thing.
I mean, they always say animals have that sense, you know.
Sixth sense,
that sixth sense, or a lot of animals, you know.
Little kids too, so
They say with the little
They say
kids,
babies, especially babies can, like, they've shown signs where you see a baby just looking at something, like something's there that we don't see.
And interacting with them. Yeah. And like something that is there. But see, that's also like, you know, what we talked about, or, you know, before, that when your mind is not set a standard or is not conformed yet, and when you're a baby, you don't know anything. You're looking at facial recognitions and you're just gaining information, you know. And then when you're taught like the A, B, you know, and you're being almost constructed, you know, you're being built, you know, through being taught certain things. But that's when they say, like, meditation, you leave them five senses alone. So when you think about a baby, they don't know any five senses yet. They're almost in a state of meditation right out the womb.
Yes,
you know, they don't know the five senses yet. It's all new to them. That's what makes their mind, like I said, open to everything and anything. And that's where you, like, a lot of, you know, younger kids that you see on these CCTV cameras and everything, you'll see them like just like talking, interacting with
something's there, yeah. And so and I mean, we think we know it all, but I don't think we really know it all. You know what I mean? Facts.
And I really think a lot of the stuff that is taught to us is yet to, you know, to keep us constricted. You know, to not get that further, you know, influence of, you know, ancient
what it possibly could be. Yes.
Because why are they keeping stuff hidden? Why are they keeping stuff under wraps and keeping it in vaults and not letting people know the true knowledge, you know? Yeah.
Like what you say, like, what do they call that? Area 60, whatever, you know what I mean?
Oh, like Area 51?
51 and all that type of stuff.
I mean, it goes even deeper than that. I mean, they, why are they, you know, not, you know...
giving us access.
What's that?
Giving us access to that,
access to different parts of the, you know, chambers and, you know, the Pyramid of Khufu, you know, the Pyramids of Giza. Okay. You can't get a certain access in there. Okay. They're not letting people go into their different chambers. They just found supposedly a different chamber that's up higher, that's huge.
Gotcha.
And then also, why aren't you going deeper into Göbekli Tepe? They have found out through, you know, underground radar that it is a huge complex. I mean, huge complex. And their reasoning, they planted trees on it, so it would be like sort of deforestation type deal on top of the, you know, other not ruins, but the spread of Göbekli Tepe. Okay. And their reason is they're going to save it for future archaeologists. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. I think it's more of
not really wanting to expose exactly what that possibly could be.
There's truth out there, right?
Because I think that could be the case. You know, and they say there are things that we will, you know, that they know that, you know, they probably wouldn't expose because it would shift.
Oh,
our thinking. Yeah, shift. it would be an entire shift on how we see and believe things.
I agree with you.
But and I think this was a good topic being in this Halloween, but. Since we on it, how do you feel about like them not allowing you to be in haunted houses and stuff like touch? Do you think remember our haunted houses used to be scary?
Shit, I remember going to this one called Fright World, I think it was, and it was a full contact. Yeah, but you can't touch them, but they were allowed to take you. I mean, they would take some of the patrons at the event, and they would take them and pull them all the way through the beginning, so they would have to go through the whole thing again.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that was a good one. But what do you mean by the no touch thing?
Yeah, it's like the haunted houses ain't scary no more.
Well,
and like I like the last one I went to. I don't want to say no names because I don't want to stop anybody from going there. But the last one I went to, I was like, this ain't scary because they can't do. Like they can't grab you. That would scare me more than like because I'm by default I'm walking through like waiting for you to come out. So if I see you, like I ain't scared because I'm looking for where you're gonna come from. If I catch you, like okay, I got you, bro.
I just think they need to step up their game a little bit, to be honest with you.
To get more creative.
Yes, I think that.
Now this is something I did think about, like coming from black, man. It's some scary things in the hood, man.
Right.
Like some real scary things.
Tales from the Hood. That was one of my favorite old school movies.
But like, I really think this should be a haunted house. And like I told me and my wife, we was laughing, and maybe we should do a skit about this here. Like a hood haunted house where you go into our haunted house and as soon as you step in, you're getting robbed. Get out!
Right.
they rob you. You are walking on the corner, crackhead. Like that was scary on me. But like, you want to go into a haunted house, come in here, they lay down.
See a bunch of crackheads.
It'd be like
at you like zombies.
It'd be some crazy, but it'd be like from a hood, like cause that would be like, somebody got a gun, they shooting like, oh duck, you know what I mean? It's like that's funny.
There is a movie called Tales from the Hood that sort of like touched base on that, But yeah, like I mean, but that's real. Like that is that's something scary that when you live in the projects or something like that in the hood.
Yeah, that's scary. That's
scary.
real scary.
That's real life. I mean,
that's why I say that would be our haunted house.
Like,
we got something to scare you.
I think more importantly,
the trap house.
Yeah, you're stuck here forever in the K-hole. You're never gonna leave. Here's your 50 bag. Whatever. No, but I really think they just need to step up their game. When you go into the haunted houses, like ones that are reputable, they sort of get, stagnant because they don't change it up. Like, I think it's really important to change up. But yes, that costs money, but more, like pop out, scare tactics, is come from different angles. When you have someone here, it's something here is gonna get you.
Yeah.
When your attention's over here.
And I think they guys got to be more creative with it because, you can't just jump out here and because I'm looking for it. You got to get me on a second. Oh.
Right. And I think it needs to be more psychological, like you said. I saw this one. It has to do with for me living in Kentucky, like if you go down the wrong holler, it could be bad. Like the hills have eyes type shit. Like then back, like you'll never be found again. Yeah. And like I remember when I got,
they got some scary spots out there, man. They got some things, Yeah. I mean, I can say they got some spots in hood like East Cleveland. They got some streets at night. Be like, I'm not gonna walk down that street.
Right. And then so like when you go there, I mean, like stuff was told like they know the land better than you do, and I remember I was told when I had when them pistols like put on me, and what they said was, when they throw you down that old, like the old mine shaft, they'll never find you. Your mom will never find you. Something like along that. I was like, shit, dude. I was like, they obviously have a spot where they that but it's also playing that psyche because as an actor in the haunted house, you when you say certain stuff like that creep people out, that makes them think like, oh shit, this could go down. That starts playing them mind games like the Hannibal Lecter. He didn't look like the scariest dude, but his intelligence and his lingo make your skin crawl.
What was that movie called? Silence in the Lambs. That was a trip.
No, it is a trip. The second one was good, and then they had the playoff of Red Dragon.
What's like speaking of scary, back in the day, those were our scary movies. What is the new what is nowadays scary movie that it's like it?
I don't know. I think they need to come out with them, like you had Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, that was how we had classic, like Halloween. Do they have theirs?
I saw this.
I seen one advertised now called Smile. You been watching that?
I seen it.
Yeah.
That's more like I don't know what it is. Yeah. You're right. It's not really I don't know where to go on with it. Yeah. I saw the Terrifier, which is new-ish, and it was grotesque.
I think it stopped with Saw. Remember, Saw was like a little, didn't it?
Like something that really could happen to you, Yeah.
What's that?
The
Boy was good. I like that movie.
I never seen that one.
The Boy?
They had a boy doll.
The Boy?
Like a Chucky type?
No, it was just a doll, like Annabelle.
Oh, yeah, I remember Annabelle. That was a trip too.
They got a boy. It's called The Boy.
Okay, I've never seen that.
Do you like watching scary movies?
Yeah, but
Pledge, too.
Yeah.
like, so
No, The Pledge. Yeah, and what? The Purge. The Purge.
And that was
that's
creepy.
their new scary.
That
Yeah,
was
The Purge
creepy
is it.
because
Yeah.
of, like, shit, the way society's going. Like,
Yeah,
are we
it's just
almost
a
there?
trip.
Like, shit. Like, it's like going in that direction, right? What is it called?
Jeffrey Dahmer.
That was real life scary.
Yeah, that's real life. They should be coming.
That's
out
what
with
I'm
a serial
saying. Like
killer.
that's equivalent to like going in the hood and like getting robbed. That's scary.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Or having like truck drivers, because they said like a lot of them truck drivers, because they drive all the time, they know spots for the unload bodies, and you know they're always on the road. So you're going to one state to the next state, just like what you know Ted Bundy used to do. He used to go ba 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 ba. You know,
Ted Bundy was a truck driver.
no, he wasn't, but he traveled a lot. No, actually, Ted Bundy was actually like a very smart, intelligent dude who almost was a lawyer.
Yeah, I heard that. His
Like, I
wife
mean,
didn't know it either.
The dude
Yeah.
was super smart. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, very cunning, very, intelligent. And even, I remember seeing one of the videos where they were, he was in court and the judge actually straight up boldly said, I wish you would have never taken the path that you took, because I would have had you on my team, in his law firm type shit.
Wow.
And he was like, he was that impressed with his, his intelligence.
His
you know?
legal mind.
But
yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but what's that? There's I think more now, like you said, it's more like a psychological, like a mind game, type shit, which is a little bit dangerous, like because like the other stuff is more fantasy.
Yeah, it's more like it's movie oriented. It's like it could be fictitious. It's just
Right.
but with the paranormal, you're like that's real life.
They making it more like AI is computerized. The Chucky movie was, Chucky was a spirit, remember?
Correct. From a robber, like a bad criminal, right?
Now the new Chucky, I don't know if you've seen it. It was like controlled by AI, like computer.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? No, I didn't know that. No.
Nah.
I got to see that one.
It's just like Space Jam.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
the second Space Jam.
Okay.
Same thing. It was AI related. So that's like the,
They're making it more, nowadays. Yeah.
So it's like, that other one I saw, that Megan one with the robot, right? Yeah.
that was scary. 'Cause
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know.
Now, what robot y'all talking about?
It's called Megan.
Oh, like the lady? It's a lady?
It's a girl. Yeah. And she's a robot, and she's supposed to be like a companion for this little girl. And it just goes deep.
She wants to be real.
She wants to be real, but she gets super overprotected of this girl.
Okay.
So she starts,
Hurting people.
And
Okay, don't give it up. I might want to watch that.
no, it's a good movie. It's actually pretty decent, actually.
another one too. Where the dude was dating the robot, but she was real cute too. Like
Oh, I think I seen that one.
it was called. It's another.
Yeah, he fell in love with her or something like that. I seen that one. I think I seen that one there.
I can't remember, but I think it's like called header. I can't remember. It starts with the H.
H.
Yeah, heterocy or hierarchy or something. HEREDITY maybe. But that one
Ex Machina.
Oh, that's it. Ex Machina.
is that the one with the robot?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta look at that. Yeah, I like I like the more fancy one. Like my favorite guy. What was your favorite monster thing or?
Back in the day, my favorite.
Now, okay, wait.
I'm gonna tell you, like one of my most favorite horror movies was Amityville Horror.
What's that one?
You don't remember Amityville Horror based on like the
That's when he goes crazy and starts popping his family, right?
Amityville
With
Horror.
the house that has the gable roof.
Nah, I think you're talking about the one with Jack Nicholson in
No, that's Shining.
Shining.
Yeah.
Nah, Amityville Horror. Did he start? Amityville was good. Now, your Shining was good too, though.
That was
a trip.
For what it was, it's trippy. Yeah, no, it's definitely trippy for like the cinematography and everything.
But I say I say Freddie was like our era, like Freddie
that's
was
what saying.
The Freddie Michael Myers. Them was the two like. Well, we had to go to the movies. Like you don't even see that now. Like
now,
when that movie came out of Hollywood, what's that?
What's your classic monster? Like your Universal Studio, like Dracula, Wolfman, Creature Lagoon, Frankenstein, Mummy.
I'd have to be Dracula, man.
Yeah, dude, I feel you. I'm
Dracula was the truth. But remember they used to have them werewolf ones.
Dude, the werewolf is badass too, though.
Yeah, the werewolf was what was the one? The Werewolf of London or something that was like. That was a trip.
In London.
And Van Helsing.
Yeah, Van Helsing.
Yeah.
A good werewolf.
Yeah, they don't have no good, man. We had all the best movies, bro.
I don't know. Yeah, they're going more of a psychological
It's more digital now, where it's
Yeah.
like the monsters are like they're not, it was like somebody in a costume with, it was a little different. We seen
an appreciation for that.
Yeah.
It was an art, it was
facts.
an art, and the person who had to wear the costumes. I mean, shoot, you hear these guys. I remember Jim Carrey had when he did the Grinch. Mm-hmm. Okay, now that's not a horror film,
but it still was
the costume. He literally had to have a CIA agent or a person who did torture to help him because that whole costume was just living like in torture.
Yeah.
But the whole craftsmanship, I like the older James Bond movies because of the. The stuff that they had to build, the sets. It's not computer.
The storyline was better, man.
Yeah.
I think because you got computer technologies, 3D and all that stuff now, like all when you start getting into Transformers and all that, it's more like digital movies. Where in Wii it was a story was good, and you still got to be on an adventure or whatever. Now it's like
that's because you got all the weirdos writing the movies. Like who writes a movie about eating kids? Like the It.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Now
Stephen King was one of the best ones.
Now question.
He was weird as hell.
Yeah.
He was. Yeah. Yes. Who was the best? Who writes in terms of movies? Is it Stephen King? I'm gonna tell you, I think is the best. Sharmanizer. What's that dude name? He's like M. Night something. Knight is his name.
I don't know.
But he wrote. Did he write? Have you ever seen? He wrote some scary movies, man.
What's his name?
M. Night something.
But yeah, there's been. I have to agree with you. I think they need to revamp the whole classic monsters.
Yeah, The Sixth Sense, The Village. Yes, his movies are a trip, bro.
I never heard of him. I gotta look him up.
Yeah, he wrote he done wrote all kind of stuff, man.
You're gonna have to send me that name, please.
The Village. The Sixth Sense was good.
Split Signs. Unbreakable. I ain't seen that one. That's with Samuel Jackson.
That one's good.
The Visit.
Yeah. He done wrote
The Cabin.
I don't think like The Predator, like they got that as a horror film, but I don't like thinking The Predator.
Yeah, he did Glass, but he's a trip, man. He's a trip. His
I like the way he thinks.
Yeah, Jordan Peele is good too,
Jordan
though.
Peele, I like Jordan Peele.
Because you ever seen that one? I used to read books. Have you ever seen? I think they did a movie called Thinner.
Yeah, that was I think a Stephen King, right?
Stephen King. You ever seen Thinner? Thinner's a trip.
Yeah, that one is a trip.
It's a trip, man.
It's like an adult, like I don't want to say adult, but like it's like a Goosebumps thing. Like like you eat a pie and he's like, then he has to feed. It's
a trip. Weird. You just lose. Yeah. Thinner's like you ate this pie and you just lost weight.
Yeah. And then he started losing too much
weight till you become and you die.
Then he has to have the other person.
Yeah, and he have to have somebody else eat the pie to get cured. Somebody else got to eat the pie, so he set the pie up for somebody like.
Yeah, we can't tell.
Yeah, don't tell you it's good.
Because if you break it down,
you'll be like, oh,
man, she just ruined it.
Yeah, it's a trip, man. You got to watch that, man. That'd be a good one to watch with the family.
No, the one you got to watch with your daughter because she's young, is Monster Squad.
Oh yeah,
about these young kids, and they had to they team up to create this monster squad, and he has all the classic, the Frankenstein, and it's not really super scary, and it's a good one for kids to watch. You know, it's not super like out of pocket with crazy stuff. It's tamed down.
Watching all the scary stuff with her.
Yeah.
What's that movie? They got a new one. It's called Mr. It's like a dude. He get a TV and he come out and get all the kids. If you beating on your kids, he'll come grab your kids and they live in the screen.
Wow.
I don't know, but I tell you what, Poltergeist used to scare the shit out of me.
Poltergeist. That was a classic. Poltergeist was a classic.
Poltergeist used to scare me, and like that's like goes.
Yeah, because they had a couple of those. Remember, and that kind of goes back to like you done built something on a grave live. Yeah.
Right. Oh, I'll take.
Yeah, Poltergeist.
This one,
I forgot about Poltergeist.
I remember this one house.
Come into the light. What's he saying? Come to the light.
The little lady. I love that little lady.
Yeah, come to the light.
She was cute. I remember these people who I went on the bus with. They built this house, and they started finding all these Native American Indian artifacts. And you talk about the shit hitting the fan.
Yeah.
Equipment was kept on breaking. Like everything that could go wrong during the build and the dig was going wrong. Like it just went haywire. And I remember when I was a kid, they were telling me that. And I don't know if they eventually donated a lot of the like arrowheads and all the pottery and stuff. But a lot of people, like I said, like don't know, or maybe they do or they don't.
Mm-hmm.
Or Northeast Ohio and Ohio in general had tons of
reservations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you don't even know what's going on here. Like what happened in the past, especially when you've been dealt the way they were dealt.
Yeah.
They were really.
They pretty much took the country from them, man.
They took everything. They did.
They
did some dirty stuff to the Native American.
They took the country, man.
Yeah. So, on that note,
that was a good one, man.
That was good, like that. I appreciate you telling me your story. That was great. I mean, that's.
And I completely forgot about the one with my mother, man. That was recent.
That one's like that. See,
but I know that. Like, I don't know if my wife did. My wife take video.
But the thing is like you have like video and you called your brother.
Yeah.
But the thing is also is like. You're not gonna make up with your dog. Like you're not gonna, like if your dog is just like straight beanlining at something. Yeah. Like
he wouldn't go past. I'm telling you, he wouldn't like. It's if like, and it's really hard to explain, man. But he would not walk past that little area where my little shrine was at.
And then the crazy thing, like to add onto it, is like once you started talking to your mom, then like.
I say, Mom, leave my dog alone. I was just joking.
But he snapped out of it, and Dollar listened to you. Like it's almost like that thing was broke. She's like, okay, I'll leave him alone. Yeah. But anyways.
But that was I guess So I know something was going on for your dog to not go past that point. Something.
And especially with the treat.
Yeah. That's the treat. That was the part. You couldn't give him a treat or nothing.
Nothing. Just stuck. But that's definitely something.
Different. That was something there.
Yeah, definitely something
random. That was random.
That definitely was random. On the other note is, we all wish you a happy Halloween. For all the people down in North Carolina, Tennessee, and Florida, our hearts go out to you. Stay strong. It'll get better. Our hearts really go out to you.
Yes.
But just keep the faith, keep the positiveness. Like I always said, do good, be good, get good, and love to love y'all.
Yes. Exactly that. Love to love, y'all. Random. That was random.